Round one.
How's it going, everyone? FourTwoGaming here. Welcome to the channel. I have a channel introduction video for you today, or I should say a rather belated channel introduction video that should have gone up when I first started the channel, but it's here now. And in this video I wanted to introduce and talk a little bit about myself, the channel, what sort of content to expect on it, and plans moving forward. Alright, here we go. So, who am I? Nobody special, man. I'm just a Londoner who's been gaming hardcore for about 25 years. It all began in the arcades, playing nothing but fighting games, various editions of Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, and side-scrollers like Final Fight. I had my first home console gaming experience with the SNES and Street Fighter 2. Then later, fresh from the arcades, another fighting game, Killer Instinct. As new console generations came along, so did new fighting games. I mean, we had Battle Arena Toshinden, Tekken and Virtua Fighter, to name a few. Lesser known games like Rival Schools, Bloody Roar, Street Fighter EX series, and Fatal Fury, Wild Ambition. I even played really obscure fighting games. I mean, does anyone remember Kensei, Sacred Fist on the PS1? How about Mace, the Dark Age on the N64? Weapon-based combat, not too far off from the game you're seeing in the background. My all-time favourite fighting game though has to be Tekken, no doubt. And I used to play competitively for years, along with a good friend of mine, ColdGent99, a really solid Tekken player who I hope will make regular appearances on the channel in the future. We'll try and sort something out. Now I come from the same generation as the Beast, Tiger, Justin Wong and Alex Valle. Grew up watching and learning a great deal from these guys, and all that knowledge eventually became known as fighting game terminology. It wasn't until the release of Final Fantasy VII in the West that my eyes opened to other genres. It was like, dude, there's other games to play out there, man. And then I started to play more action adventures, first and third person shooters, and games that eventually would be known as role-playing games. This marked the beginning of the end for fighting games, and I had my last competitive match Tekken 4, I believe, 2004, yeah. Since then, it's been a cycle of playing most of the new releases to 100% completion or as close as possible, and then simply moving on to the next release. I always promised myself that one day, man, one day I'd return to my fighting game roots, but that never happened. New iterations were released. Life just got in the way, I guess. So gaming really for me has become more than a passion. It's a way of life, and that leads me onto the channel. For the past few years now, I've been seriously pondering about sharing these gaming experiences through YouTube, content creation and streaming. But with no experience in content creation or running a YouTube channel, I had no idea where to begin. I didn't know where to start, man. But I knew one thing for sure. I did not want to look back years from now filled with any kind of regret. With so many hype games due last year, I decided to take the plunge and just go for it. FourTwoGaming was born. I had plans to do Let's Play style playthroughs of new releases, perhaps guides, build videos and discussions based off of my video games design qualifications, ensuring I keep content informative as well as entertaining. I had really been looking forward to the early 2017 releases, Resident Evil 7, Neo, For Honor, Horizon Zero Dawn and Mass Effect Andromeda. I wanted to document them all and beyond if I could. I finally got started with Mass Effect in April last year, and this was after completing Resident Evil 7 and Horizon, but I quickly found the whole process to be intimidating and hugely overwhelming, so I pretty much gave up after only 9 parts uploaded. I of course ended up finishing the main game to completion and then moved on to Neo. After an amazing 8 months with Neo and some time spent learning how to use video editing software, I found myself in a position where I was able to dedicate most of, if not all my time to YouTube and content creation. I gave it another shot, except this time I was much better prepared. So in November last year I began uploading Neo content, initially PS4 footage and then on PC once it released. After Neo, I began uploading my PC playthrough of Assassin's Creed Origins, and I found it to be a much better experience, and I was able to handle uploads of larger games unlike before. Now with only one part of that playthrough left to upload, I started to think about what to do next. I felt like I needed a niche title, something that I could really get into and focus on. Perhaps make it the main game I produce content for on the channel, something that could potentially grow the channel. And this finally leads me on to the plans moving forward. I'd been really intrigued by For Honor ever since Ubisoft announced it back in E3 2015, I think it was. And it finally released last year in between some really big titles. I mean, I've got to be honest, I only played it for about 2 weeks, but absolutely loved it. So unique, core gameplay is amazing, and I really love the mechanics. But it did come out alongside highly anticipated titles that I was absolute about playing. I wasn't going to miss them. So I left For Honor for the time being until I decided to return to it. And I think that time is now. You see, For Honor really lit up that competitive fire in me, and I never felt like that since the old Tekken days. I also think that returning to something like Tekken after a 14-year absence would be a lot difficult than learning how to play For Honor. And I believe that's because in For Honor, new players I think are more likely to struggle with difficulty of learning the control system than the actual fight mechanics. I believe the fight system and the fight mechanics in For Honor are not that difficult to learn. What's difficult to learn are the controls. But that's my belief. So the plan moving forward is to produce a video documentary of sorts of me learning the game, improving my play, and gaining as much experience as I can to become a competent player. I may document practice sessions, but mostly it will be duels and brawls to improve, complete with post commentary providing some sort of analysis, hopefully. Now with this in place, I'm hoping I can get to a nice level whilst growing the channel, opening up possibilities of collaboration, maybe viewer and subscriber matches. We'll see how things go. I do plan on expanding the channel to Tekken 7. I do want to make a return to Tekken. There's also the new Soul Calibur I'm really hyped for. And I may possibly sneak in some Let's Plays along the way. Again, we're going to have to see how it goes. Now before I get shot down, I know For Honor is not in the greatest of shapes with the various perceived issues and hero tier list in particular, and I know this journey will be challenging and require some effort, but look, I'm up for it, and with your support I really feel like I can make this work. Plus, I do have faith in Ubisoft that they'll sort things out, much like what they've done with the other games as a service model. If you look at Rainbow Six Siege and The Division, there's some great stuff that's happened to those games in the past year or so. Right, I think we're done here, so thank you for listening to the ramblings of an old gamer. It's much appreciated. I'll be back soon for the start of this For Honor journey with some duels, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you later.